1000 lb Sisters star Amy Slaton has admitted that her weight loss bothers her. This was shocking for fans to hear, as they thought she loved being skinnier. Well, it seems she has some issues with her weight still, and did not realize it was going to affect her like this. There is a lot to unfold and uncover when it comes to this situation. Keep reading to find out more about this. Amy Slaton has had a lot going on this season. She is planning her wedding to Brian. However, a lot has gone into it all. Amy and Tammy got into a serious argument. So, Tammy was not in Amy's wedding. Amy got married to Brian on Halloween last year. Fans loved that she found her happily ever after. Regardless, she and Tammy have to work things out, as the family is not the same with them arguing. Fans got to watch Amy find her dress, pick out her flowers, test the cake, and so much more. Amy Slaton has admitted that her weight loss bothers her. This was shocking for fans to hear. However, she went to a bungee jumping workout class in order to get in shape for her wedding. While she was doing it, she realized that her extra skin was getting in the way. Lately I've been doing so good on my weight loss, and now that I'm skinnier, it's starting to bother me even more. These harnesses were not meant for people with excess skin, I'll tell you that. My fat roll would go in between the strap and my leg. She also could not do some of the workouts they were doing, as she would fall. However, this does not necessarily have to do with her weight loss. Amy struggled because of her extra skin, and this is not something she thought would happen. It seems as though Amy was having issues with her loose skin. However, this is not something she thought was going to be an issue. Her skin kept getting stuck between her legs and the strap while doing the bungee class. Fans were shocked to hear that it bothered her so much. However, she more than likely would like her weight if the extra skin were gone. Why shrinking isn't always simple, even when the world is cheering. For years, 1000 lb Sisters fans have watched Amy Slaton chase a dream that once felt almost impossible: to lose weight, reclaim her health, and build the family life she always wanted. The journey has been messy, emotional, often hilarious, and at times heartbreaking. But in a surprising and deeply human twist, Amy has admitted something few people expect to hear from someone on a weight loss show. Her weight loss bothers her. It's a confession that stops viewers in their tracks. After all, isn't weight loss the whole point? Isn't it the victory lap everyone's been waiting for? Not exactly. Amy's admission opens the door to a much bigger, more complicated truth, one about identity, fear, trauma, and what happens when the body changes faster than the heart and mind can keep up. This isn't just about pounds lost. It's about what gets lost with them. The Amy Slaton we met versus the Amy Slaton she's becoming. When audiences first met Amy Slaton, she was loud, funny, stubborn, and refreshingly unfiltered. She made fart jokes. She laughed at herself. She leaned into chaos. And most importantly, she knew who she was. Amy wasn't trying to be palatable. She was surviving. Her weight wasn't just a physical reality, it was a shield. It was familiarity. It was the version of herself she had learned to navigate the world in. When Amy talked about wanting to lose weight in the early seasons, it often came wrapped in humor, dreams of motherhood, and promises to do better tomorrow. Weight loss was the goal, but it was also abstract, something for the future. Now, the future is here. And it turns out, it's scary. Why weight loss can feel like losing yourself. Amy's statement that weight loss bothers her confuses people because society sells transformation as a fairy tale. Lose weight, feel better, become happier, live your best life. But that script skips a critical chapter, the grief. When someone has lived in a larger body for decades, that body becomes a language. It shapes how you interact with the world, how people treat you, how you protect yourself emotionally. Losing it can feel like suddenly being dropped into a foreign country without a map. Amy didn't just lose weight. She lost a familiar version of herself, a built-in excuse to hide, a shield against expectations, a reason people underestimated her. And strangely enough, those things can feel comforting, even when they're harmful. Amy Slaton and the fear of being seen. One of the most overlooked parts of weight loss is visibility. When Amy was heavier, she was often dismissed, judged, or pitied. Painful, yes. but predictable. She knew where she stood. As she loses weight, something shifts. People start paying attention differently. They expect more. They judge harder. They stop cutting slack. Being invisible hurts, but being seen can be terrifying. Amy has hinted that weight loss makes her uncomfortable because it changes how people look at her. Suddenly, she's not just Amy from 1000 LB Sisters. She's a woman people project expectations onto. A mom, a success story, a cautionary tale, a headline. That's a lot for anyone, especially someone who's still figuring out who she is underneath it all. Motherhood changed everything, and not just her body. Amy's weight loss journey can't be separated from her journey into motherhood. Becoming a mom was her dream. It was her motivation. It was the reason she pushed through surgery, diet changes, and relentless scrutiny. But motherhood didn't magically fix everything, it complicated it. Postpartum life hit Amy hard. Sleep deprivation, hormonal shifts, anxiety, postpartum depression, the pressure to be a good mom. Weight loss didn't protect her from those struggles. In some ways, it made them louder. Suddenly, she wasn't just responsible for herself, she was responsible for two tiny humans while still trying to understand her own emotional landscape. Losing weight while losing control of other parts of life can feel destabilizing. For Amy, the body change may have symbolized one more thing she couldn't fully manage, the emotional whiplash of success. Here's the part fans rarely talk about. Success can feel like failure when you're not emotionally prepared for it. Amy achieved something millions of people dream about. And instead of relief, she felt discomfort. Why? Because weight loss doesn't automatically heal trauma. Low self-esteem, coping mechanisms, fear of abandonment, relationship struggles. In fact, it often exposes them. Without food as a comfort, what's left? Without size as armor, how do you protect yourself? Without excuses, how do you explain still feeling unhappy? Amy's honesty forces viewers to confront an uncomfortable truth. Changing your body doesn't instantly change your life. Comparisons, competition, and Tammy Slaton's shadow. Amy's journey has always existed alongside Tammy's, and that dynamic matters. For years, Amy was the responsible one. The one who tried harder. The one who made progress while Tammy struggled. That identity gave her purpose. But as Tammy began to succeed, losing weight, gaining independence, even surpassing expectations, the balance shifted. Now Amy isn't just losing weight. She's losing her role. The caretaker, the success story, the good sister. Watching Tammy thrive while Amy struggles emotionally creates a quiet but powerful tension. Amy's weight loss doesn't feel triumphant anymore, it feels complicated, even bittersweet, when your body changes faster than your mind. Psychologists call it body image lag, the phenomenon where your mind still sees the old version of you long after your body has changed. Amy may look different, but her internal self-image hasn't caught up. She still feels like the fat sister. The one people laugh at. The underdog. The woman who doesn't quite fit. Weight loss forces her to confront a disconnect between how she feels and how she's perceived. That dissonance can be deeply unsettling. It's like living in someone else's body while your own identity plays catch-up. Fans react, confusion, criticism, and unexpected empathy. When Amy admitted that weight loss bothers her, fan reactions were split. Some were frustrated. Some were confused. Some accused her of being ungrateful. But others, especially those who've been on similar journeys, recognized the truth in her words immediately, because if you've ever lost a significant amount of weight, you know, compliments can feel invasive. Attention can feel overwhelming. Change can feel lonely. Amy's honesty cracked open a conversation that reality TV rarely allows. What happens after the before and after photos? The pressure of being a success story. Amy isn't just losing weight, she's doing it on camera. Every pound is documented. Every setback is dissected. Every emotion is judged. There's pressure to be inspirational. To be grateful. To smile. To say the right thing. Admitting discomfort feels like breaking the unspoken contract of transformation TV. But it's also what makes Amy relatable. She's not a motivational poster. She's a human being navigating change in real time. Why Amy's confession matters more than ever. In a culture obsessed with glow-ups and transformations, Amy Slaton's admission is quietly radical. She's saying, you can want change and fear it. You can succeed and struggle. You can lose weight and feel lost. That honesty matters, especially to viewers who think something is wrong with them for not feeling happy after achieving a long-held goal. Amy gives permission to feel conflicted. Healing isn't linear, and neither is weight loss. Amy's journey reminds us that healing doesn't follow a straight line. Some days, weight loss feels empowering. Other days, it feels destabilizing. Some days, progress feels like freedom. Other days, it feels like pressure. There's no wrong reaction, just honest ones. If Amy's weight loss bothers her, that doesn't mean she regrets it. It means she's processing it, and processing is messy. What Amy Slaton really needs right now. More than praise, more than criticism, more than expectations. Amy needs compassion, emotional support, time, space to redefine herself, not as a before, not as an after, but as a whole person in between. The bigger picture, this was never just about weight. At its core, 1000 lb Sisters was never just about pounds, it was about survival. About family, about coping, about hope. Amy's admission brings the show back to its emotional roots. It strips away the spectacle and reminds us why people connected in the first place, because real change is uncomfortable, confusing, and deeply human. Final thoughts. Let Amy be complicated. Amy Slaton doesn't owe anyone a perfect transformation arc. She's allowed to feel bothered. She's allowed to grieve. She's allowed to struggle out loud. In fact, that's what makes her story powerful, because sometimes, the bravest thing you can do isn't losing weight, it's admitting that even when you get what you wanted, you're still figuring out how to live with it. And that, more than any number on a scale, is real growth. If you want, I can write a part 2 focusing on Amy's mental health and postpartum struggles. Do a fan reaction deep dive. Compare Amy's journey to Tammy's in a long-form essay. Rewrite this in a tabloid, news style or emotional first-person tone.